Before I get started on this video, make sure y'all go ahead and check out my latest podcast, the video I just uploaded. Check that out after you watch this video because we talk about some really good stuff, and I'm about to talk about some really good stuff in this video. So after you watch this video, go ahead and scroll back down to my podcast. We talked about some really great topics, and after that, have a good one. Reboot Gaming. What is the deal, YouTube? This is your boy Rick27, and I'm back again with another video. And today, I want to talk about, has video games gone dull? Because honestly, back in the day, back in the 90s, early 2000s, video games used to be really fun and enjoyable. And we didn't have to worry about these poor DLC practices. We didn't have to worry about these microtransactions and all this bullshit, you know, broken games, you know, glitchy ass games, you know, just all that bullshit that we are seeing today in today's gaming industry. And the sad part about today's gaming industry is that this industry is booming a lot more than it ever did. This industry made more money than it ever did. So that's the sad part about it. The good thing about it that it's not going to crash anytime soon. But the bad thing about it, we're going to continuously and get, you know, basically raped in the ass by these developers if you continuously keep supporting their bullshit. And I know I made a video about this the other day about it's our fault as gamers, you know, it is our fault because how this industry today is, because we keep on supporting a lot of this bullshit and we continuously and still get bullshit. We support bullshit and we get bullshit. So it ain't gonna never be it's gonna still be a never ending cycle unless us as the consumers vote with our wallet. And if you're an old school gamer like me, excuse me, if you're an old school gamer like me, do you think video games back in the 90s, maybe early 2000s, is a lot better than today's video games? I think, you know, in my opinion, the Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, that generation, and of course you got the Nintendo 64, the Sega Saturn, and the PlayStation, that generation. Those two generations right there are the best generations ever, hands down. I'm just being real because they had so many, I mean so many games that was freaking enjoyable, and they had so many selections. It was so hard to choose from. And of course, you know, if y'all know me, I'm a huge Sega guy, so I always love my Genesis, I always love my Saturn and my Dreamcast. I was a huge Sega guy. And you know, of course, you know, we already know the story with Sega, and they got a lot of memorable games that I really enjoyed. And it would be nice if they somehow make a strong comeback, but that's just wishful thinking. I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon, just being real. But I'm just basically talking to y'all about the fun factor that we enjoyed back in the 90s. You know, if you was gaming in the 90s, you know how it is today. I'm pretty sure you probably enjoy gaming back then than today, because you know how we used to buy those little cheat book. You know, it had like a shitload of cheat codes for hundreds or even thousands of games. You know, we probably spent about maybe $15-20 for that book. You know, and just think about all those cheat codes, all those games, and compare that to DLC on just one game. and you see how much we are getting fucked these days. Like all these, majority of those games back then, whenever you beat the games, you get like special special weapons. You get more content, add an extra feature or extra game mode for free. It's not like that no more. You gotta buy this, you gotta buy that. Season pass this, season pass that. Season pass started off at $20, now with 30, now with 40, now with 50. It's just a never-ending trend with the poor business practices, inside the gaming industry, and us as the consumers, we are still continuously falling for this shit. What we need to do in order to cut this bullshit out, we have to vote with our wallet. If you don't like the shit, if you think it's bullshit, don't support the shit. Let them bleed. Let them bleed so they can learn their lessons, so they won't freaking do that bullshit ever again. But until then, we still gonna get these broken games. I'm just being real. Even though I am enjoying a lot of these games so far as this generation, but overall, the fun factor is not like how it was back in the day. The fun factor on my Genesis, the fun factor on my Dreamcast, my Saturn, on my Super Nintendo. I didn't have a Nintendo 64, but my uncles had it, and I had some friends, so I played the Nintendo 64 a lot. So the fun factor of those games, my PlayStation, it was fucking fun and very enjoyable, and I don't think anything can ever top that. You can go back and look at the shitty ass graphics, but around that time, those graphics on these 16-bit and 32-bit consoles was basically eye candy. We thought it looked so beautiful back then. The reason why it looks like shit now because how technology had advanced right now. But I'm just going back from this time period, back to that time period, which back in the 90s, it was, like I say, the fun factor from the 90s and the fun factor for today's gaming, it's not even close. Like I say, if you are an old school gamer such as myself, then I would choose the 90s. I'm pretty sure you would have chosen the 90s over the games now, because the games is not enjoyable no more, because it's all about these microtransactions. It's all about money. This money, that money, this money, that. These special edition bundles, these games. You pay freaking $150 to $200 for these special edition. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous, man. You pay all this money for a special edition game, and some of these games don't even come with the season pass. You still gotta buy the season pass. So I don't know, man. I'm just talking off the head right now, because I was a huge Sega guy, and the Sega Genesis had a lot of good games. Oh my gosh, it would be nice if Sega could bring us back those IPs. And of course, let's don't forget the Super Nintendo. I had one, but I enjoyed my Genesis more than I enjoyed my Super Nintendo. Of course, I love Super Mario World, Mario RPG, games like that, Donkey Kong Country, Dixie Return. Those games was really, really good. And of course, I played the Star Fox. Those games. Of course, the typical Nintendo games. Yes, I played those, but those third-party games, I play a lot of those games on my Genesis, like Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat. Of course, it's pretty obvious why I play Mortal Kombat on my Genesis, because of the policies. Nintendo want to keep the blood out the game, so it kind of alienate their sales. So, like I say, man, both consoles had a lot of great games, man. PlayStation, the Saturn, the 64, man. I don't even know what to say no more. Hands down, 90s win. These days, these days, as far as the fun factor, don't get me wrong, the games look beautiful. Technology had progressed a lot as far as the graphics goes and all that. But as far as the fun factor, like my enjoyment level was a lot higher back then than what it is now. So I don't know. I'm just giving my opinion on how I feel about gaming today. And y'all just let me know how y'all feel about today's gaming industry. If you are an old school gamer like me, give me your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section below on how do y'all feel about today's gaming, you know, compared to gaming back then, back in the 90s, especially if you are old enough to remember. I'm not talking to y'all 20-year-olds. I'm talking to y'all, you know, late 20s and up. You know, I'm 29. I'm about to be 30. So yes, I was part of the 90s. You know, I enjoyed the 90s games, and y'all just let me know how y'all feel about, you know, all this shit. Do y'all think the 90s is a lot better, you know, than the 2000s as far as fun factor goes? Like, you know, just if you want to compare the 16, 32-bit games compared to the games these days, you know, the HD games. Like I say, y'all just let me know how y'all feel about it in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe, and share my video. And once again, this is your boy Reboot 27, and y'all have a good day.